Good evening. Today we'll be studying the third chapter of Hilchot Ma'achalot Asurot, an extremely important chapter, and one very relevant in terms of Halacha L'Maaseh. This chapter will deal with different things that are products of different animals. So, for example, eggs, milk, cheese will be dealt in this chapter, and along with a few other things that are products that animals produce. Those include honey, and Be'ezrat Hashem, over the course of this chapter, will deal with all and more of those products. Halacha Aleph, Perek Gimel, Hilchot Ma'achalot Asurot. Kol ma'achal hayotze min haminim ha'asurim shel lokin al achilatan, harei oto ha'ma'achal asur ba'achila min ha'torah. Any food that is a product from any of the species of prohibited animals that one would be liable for malkut if eating them, that product or that food made by, again, that prohibited animal is prohibited to be eaten from scriptural law. Kegon halev behema v'hayat temeim uvetze og v'daga temeim. For example, milk that is produced by behemot and hayot that are not kosher, as well as eggs of birds and fish that are non-kosher as well. Shene'emar ve'etbat haya'ana, as the Torah explicitly states, and you may not eat the bat haya'ana. Now, as we mentioned in the previous chapter, the ya'ana is an ostrich. So, if anyone hopefully everyone knows that ostriches don't give birth the same way that mammals give birth. Rather, they lay eggs. So an ostrich can't give birth to a daughter. Again, they lay eggs. So then Chachamim ask, we know obviously that the Bata Ya'ana, that the ostrich does not really have a daughter and does not give birth. Why does it state Bata Ya'ana? Obviously, why does it state Bataya'ana? So, yes, what the Torah include the Bataya'ana? And because the Torah, Chachamim state that the Torah is referring to the eggs that are produced by the Ya'ana, the ostrich eggs that are Asur. And that's why the Torah went out of its way to explicitly mention Bat Hayana. And this is exactly what Rambam says. Bat Hayana, the daughter, quote unquote, of the ostrich. Zo betatah, this Bat Hayana is actually referring to its eggs. Ve'uhadin lechol ha'asur kayana, and the same rule applies for any prohibited animal, just like the Ya'ana, just like the ostrich. Namely, anything that is a product of a non-kosher animal. And not only eggs, rather anything that resembles or that is produced, anything that resembles an egg in that it is produced by a non-kosher animal, that it would be prohibited for us to eat it. So again, just to recap this halakha, extremely important. Any food that is a product of one of the non-kosher animals is prohibited to be eaten, and we learn that in Chachamim, and we learn this from Bat Hayana, the ostrich, that the Bat Hayana refers to the eggs of the ostrich, and just like eggs are prohibited, so too anything that is produced by the non-kosher animal is also prohibited. Halakha Bet. Halev ha'adam mutar ba'achila. The milk, human milk, is permitted to be eaten. Even though human flesh is prohibited to be eaten, as we mentioned in the previous chapter, it is prohibited by a positive prescription. And the rule of hagadel minat tameh does not apply for things that are prohibited be'aseh, for example, human flesh. Devash devorim udvash tzera'im mutar. The honey of bees and the honey of hornets is permissible because honey is not really a product of their bodies. אלא כונסין אותו מעל העשבים בתוך פיהן ומקיאין אותו בכוורת. And if anyone knows, bees collect the honey and the pollen from the flowers. They swallow the pollen and then regurgitate it into their hive so that they will find it in their, because basically what bees do is that they extract the honey, the pollen rather, from the flower. They take it and place it in the hive in order for them to eat from it during the winter months where there almost aren't any flowers for them to extract the pollen from. So because bee honey isn't a product of the bee itself, it is not prohibited to be eaten. הלכה ג' אף על פי חלב האדם מותר, אסרו חכמים לגדול לינק אותו מן השדיים, אלא חולבת אישה לתוך הכלי ושותה. Even though human milk is permissible, Hachamim prohibited for an adult to nurse or to drink it directly from the breasts of a woman. Rather, she should milk it into a vessel and then the person may drink it. V'gadol sheyanak min hashad kiyonek hasheret umakin oto makat mardut. An adult who pretty much breastfed, who drank milk from a woman's breast, it's as if he drank milk from an unclean animal, and he is liable for makat mardut, for violating a rabbinic prohibition. It's Rabbi Yochai Makbili in his Perush comments that the reason why he is liable is because this is not at all modest behavior, and it's mishum peritzut that he is liable for this. And Chachamim prohibited this, yes, midarkei tzeniut. Halacha Daled. Yonek tinok veholech afilu arba o chamesh shanim. A child may continue to nurse even for 4 or 5 years from when he is born. Ve'im gemaluhu uferesh shelosha yamim o yater. But if he was weaned and stopped for 3 days or more, mehamat borio velo mehamat holy, and he stopped while in good health, not because of an illness, eno hozer veyonek, he may not go back and continue to nurse. This is provided, and this only applies when this applies that the child was older than 24 months. But if he stopped nursing for 3 or 4 days while under the age of 24 months or 2 years, afilu gemaluhu chodesh o shenayim mutar lahazor v'linak ad sof 24 chodesh. Even if he stopped nursing for a month or for 2 months, as long as he is within the age of 24 months, he can go back and continue to nurse, so long as 24 months, as this is within the 24-month period. Halacha He. Now we'll move to the subject of milk and eggs that are produced by milk that is produced by behemot and hayot, and eggs that are produced by chickens. Halacha He. אף על פי שחלב בהמה טמאה וביצי עוף טמא אסורים מן התורה, אין לוקין עליהן, שנאמר מבשרם לא תאכלו. על הבשר הוא לוקה, ואינו לוקה על הביצה ועל החלב. Even though the milk of a non-kosher animal is prohibited, and the eggs of a non-kosher bird are also prohibited from scriptural law, one would not be liable for malkut if he ate them, as the Torah says that you may not eat from their flesh, that the flesh is what one is liable for malkut if he ate it. However, he is not liable for malkut in regards to the milk or in regards to the egg of a non-kosher animal. והרי האוכל אותם כאוכל חצי שיעור, שהוא אסור מן התורה ואינו לוקה, אבל מכין אותו מכת מרדות. And someone who eats the eggs of a non-kosher animal or drinks the milk of a non-kosher animal, it's as if he eats it's as if he eats half the minimum amount, which is prohibited from scriptural law, but he is not liable for malkut, but he is liable for makat mardut for violating a rabbinic prohibition. Halacha vav. יראה לי שהאוכל ביצי דגים טמאים הנמצאים במעיהן. It seems Harambam makes this ruling himself, not based on any sources that he had, as we mentioned many times in the Mishne Tora, whenever Harambam says Yira'eli. So Harambam says, it seems to him that anyone who eats eggs of a non-kosher fish that is found inside the fish itself, it's as if he's eating the inner organs of the fish and is liable for malkut for violating a scriptural law. So too, eggs that are attached in the clutter inside the hen, that they have not totally been finished forming and have not been separated from the hen itself. One who eats them is liable for malkut. And it's as if he is eating the innards of the of the non-kosher off. And here when Hanabam says v'chen betzeh ha'of, it's obvious that he's referring to betzeh off that are an off that is tameh. So again, if he found eggs inside a non-kosher animal that were not fully formed or finished, one would be liable for malkut, because it's as if he is eating the innards of the hen. The same applies for the fish, and this is all Harambam's own ruling. Halacha Zayin. Betzat of tameh she'itchil ha'efrach litraken bo. The egg of a non-kosher bird that the embryo began to form in it, va'achala, and someone ate it, one would be liable for violating the prohibition of eating sheretz ha'of, but not liable for eating the of tameh, because the embryo that began to form is not regarded as an of. Rather, we regard it as someone who ate a sheretz ha'of. אבל ביצת עוף טהור שהתחיל האפרוח להתרקם בו ואכלה, מכינותו מכת מרדות. But the egg of a kosher bird that the embryo began to form, and one ate it, he would be liable for makat mardut. And the reason for this is because the embryo has a type of limbo state, because on the one hand it's still not a fully formed chicken, which we may regard as an egg, not requiring shechita to be done. But on the other hand, it has begun to form. Therefore, it may require shechita in order for it to be eaten. Therefore, he would be liable for makat mardut. Because again, it may require shechita to permit it to be eaten. Nimtza aleha koret dam. If congelated blood was found on the egg, im ala ha'helbon zorek et hadam. If it was found on the helbon is the white of the egg, it may be discarded because we regard it as part of the embryo. Ve'ochelet hasha'ar, and he may eat the rest of the egg. Ve'im ala helmon asura kullah. But if the blood was found on the helmon is the yolk, it is prohibited, because the entire egg is prohibited, because we regard the blood as if it came from the mother. Betzah hamuzeret hanefesh hayafa tochal. A disfigured egg may be eaten by anyone, especially someone who is courageous and isn't afraid to eat interesting and weird foods. But the mitzah that is muzeret is permissible to be eaten. Because most people would prefer not to eat a disfigured egg. Yes. And just to clarify, in regards to the previous clause of the halacha, that if again if the blood is found on the helbon, on the white, it is yes, it's considered as part of the egg. But if it was found on the helmon, that we assume that this blood is from the mother, and it is prohibited to eat the blood that was separated from the mother and fell into the egg. But if the blood was from the embryo itself, it would be permissible to be eaten. No, sorry, you have to remove it and then you can eat the rest of it. Yes. Mehila, 1 second. Mehila, sorry, that because if it was found on the helmon, on the yolk, the entire egg is prohibited because it proves that um, yeah, if I understand this correctly, it proves that the formation of the embryo was not totally finished, and yes, it was not. Okay, there are two ways to read this halacha, I think. One way is that it's not totally finished, and there may be other blood, there. But I think that yes, if I remember correctly, the reason why it is prohibited is because the blood is from the mother, and it is prohibited to eat the entire egg if the blood of the mother is there. But if anyone has any clarifications in regards to this halacha, I'd love to hear it. Okay, continuing. Ifroah she nolad, af al pi shelo nitpatehu enav, mutar leochlo. A newborn chick, even that, yes, that its eyes has not been open yet, that it is not regarded as a nefel, and it would be permissible to eat it, obviously provided shehita is done. And if anyone remembers from the Humash, it is prohibited to eat a behema after, yes, that it is prohibited to eat a behema only after it is left for 8 days to prove that it is a bar kayama. This law does not apply for chickens, and a newborn chick, again, that was born, even though it did not open its eyes, it is not considered a nefel, and one may eat it immediately after it was slaughtered. Halacha het. בהמה טהורה שנטרפה, חלבה אסור כחלב בהמה טמאה. A kosher animal that was rendered to be a terefa. And if anyone remembers from the last chapter, a terefa means that it had some type of blemish, and yes, and obviously prohibited to be eaten even after the shechita, because it was tameh before the shechita. Yes. So its milk is prohibited, and it's regarded just like a non-kosher animal's milk. וכן ביצת עוף שנטרף, כביצת עוף טמא. So too the eggs of a chicken that was rendered a terefa, it is regarded as the egg of a non-kosher chicken. nitnabel ha'of, if the of was rendered a nevela, as we mentioned also, is an animal that that something went wrong with the shahita, and as a result of improper shahita, the animal was rendered a nevela. Im nimtzet bo betzag yemura kenimkeret bashuk harezo muteret. If the of again was rendered as a nevela and a fully formed egg was found in it, and the egg is an egg just as it just and it resembles another egg that would be sold in the market, it is permissible to be eaten. So again, just to recap, a terefa, the milk and the milk and egg of a behema, terefa, and an of shenitraf are prohibited, but in regards to a nevela, if a fully formed egg was found in the nevela, it is permissible. Halacha tet. Ifroach shelevesat terefa mutar. The chick that hatched from the egg of a terefa is permissible. She'en mino tameh, because its species is not impure. Haya ha'of sefek terefa, if the chicken was a safek terefa, kol habetzim shetilid ba'arema rishona mashinotam. All of the eggs that was born from this safek terefa chicken, all the eggs that were born out of the first batch must be kept, and we wait. Im ta'ana arema sheniya ve'tchila leled hutirul harishonot. If another batch, if the chicken made another batch and began to lay them, the first batch is permissible. But if it did not produce another batch, it would be these eggs would be prohibited. And the reason for this is if the chicken can have another batch of eggs, it is definitely not a terefa. And this is a general rule, as we'll see for hilchot terefot, that if the animal can give birth, it is definitely not a terefa. Yes. Okay. Now we'll move to another topic, and that topic is halav nochri and gevina vehem'a, milk of koyim and cheese and butter. So this is discussed in the Gemara in Masechet Avodah Zarah daf kaftet and daf lamed he. And just as an introduction, I think it might be useful just to explain, to the best of my knowledge, exactly how cheese is made, and I think it would definitely enhance the understanding of the next few halachot. Just as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional in regards to these subject of making cheese. So if anyone has any comments or any clarifications, I'd really be glad to hear. So there are two types of cheeses, something called acid set cheese and something called rennet set cheese. Acid cheese is also known as soft cheese, and it refers to things like cream cheese and cottage cheese, and these cheeses are produced by adding certain bacteria to milk. Rennet set cheese refers to cheeses like cheddar cheese and mozzarella cheese and other types of cheeses. And these cheeses are produced by adding something called rennet enzyme to milk, where the cheese becomes hardened. That process is called congealating or curdling. Again, curdling is, we'll use the term curdling, and curdling is when the milk turns into mass and becomes hard, and along with that, something called whey is produced. Whey is leftover liquid after the milk curdles. So yes, okay. So in regards to this rennet, back in the days of the Talmud, Hachamim, as we'll see, forbade eating cheese, eating the cheese rather of goyim, and the reason for this is because the goyim would put the milk inside. They would put the milk inside the lining of a not of a not kosher. Yes, they would put the milk in the skin in the lining of a animal that they killed, which is obviously a nevela. So because again the goyim would put the milk of the kosher animal into the lining of the nevela, which would and the nevela, the lining of the nevela would have this enzyme again called rennet, which would harden the cheese. So Chachamim prohibited any cheese. Yes, they forbade. Yes, they forbade cheese of goyim. Yes. Okay. So with that, I think we can begin these halachot. Yes. Okay. Halacha yod. Halev behema temea. Eno nikpe ve'omed kahalev hatehora. So milk of a not kosher animal does not curdle like a like the milk of a kosher animal. And again, when I say curdle, it means that the milk turns hard, turns into cheese. ואם נתערב חלב טהורה בחלב טמאה, כשתעמיד אותו יעמוד חלב הטהורה ויצא חלב הטמאה עם הכוס של הגבינה. And if the milk of a kosher animal was mixed with the milk of a non-kosher animal, once they are curdled, the kosher milk will become hardened, and the not kosher milk will flow outside of the cheese along with the way of the cheese. ומפני זה ייתן הדין שכל חלב הנמצא ביד גוי אסור. And because of this fact, it would be logical to conclude that all the milk that is found in the possession of a non-Jew is prohibited. Shema erev bo halev behema temea, because he may have mixed along with the kosher milk non-kosher milk. Ugvinat hagoyim muteret she'en halev behema temea mitgaben. And you may conclude as well that the cheese of goyim is permitted because only kosher milk. Yes, because non-kosher milk rather cannot become cheese. Aval bimei chachmei Mishnah gazru al gevinat hagoyim va'asaruha. However, in the days of the sages of the Mishnah, the Chachamim of the time decreed that all cheeses of goyim are prohibited. מפני שמעמידין אותה בעור הקיבה שלשחיטתן שהיא נבלה. And they prohibited because they used to curdle the cheese in the stomach lining of animals that they slaughtered, which are considered nevelot. Ve'im tomar halacha yod aleph. Ve'im tomar, and if you would say, v'halo or hakeva davar katan hu ad me'od v'halav she'amad bo. But if you say that the lining of the stomach of the nevela is very small in quantity, in contrast to the milk that it is causing to harden, ve'lama lo yivtal b'mi'uto. So why can this the small amount of the lining of the stomach in which the kosher milk is in be nullified, just as we nullify many other mixtures and other ta'aruvot? And the reason for this is because the non-kosher, the lining of the nevela is what causes the curdling. And this is what causes the transformation. Therefore, it is asur. And because of the fact that this not kosher is what causes the transformation of the milk into cheese, namely the rennet of the nevela, kol asur, the entire thing is prohibited, as we will elaborate on and as we will explain later on in Perek Tet and in Perek Tet Zayin of Hilchot Ma'achalot Asurot. So again, just to clarify this, these two halachot, the Chachamim made a gezerah on the cheese of goyim, because back in the day the goyim would curdle the cheese, curdle the milk and harden the cheese in the lining of a nevela. However, just because goyim do not necessarily curdle the milk in the or of a nevela, that does not get rid of the gezerah of Gevinat Goyim. Chachamim made the gezerah on Gevinat Goyim. Regardless of the reason, Gevinat Goyim is still prohibited. And the rule is batal hatam lo batal hagezerah. Rambam mentions this in a couple of places, one of them in one of his teshuvot. Halacha yod bet. גבינה שמעמידין אותה הגויים בעשבים או במי פירות כגון שרף תאנים, והרי ניכרין בגבינה, milk that is curdled by goyim, by herbs or fruit juice or a type of date brandy, and it is clear and one can identify that this is what caused the curdling. Some of the Geonim ruled that this is prohibited, because the Chachmei HaMishnah already prohibited all cheeses of goyim. Ben she'emiduha bedavar asur, ben she'emiduha bedavar mutar. This was regardless of whether they curdled it in something that is asur, or whether they curdle it with something that was mutar. Gezerah mishum she'emiduha bedavar asur, because the gezerah was made because of the fact that the goyim may do the curdling with something that is asur. Again, the Chachamim of the Mishnah prohibited all cheeses of goyim. Famously, there were Chachamim from the city of Narbona that disagreed with this ruling and permitted cheese that was curdled by goyim, that was not curdled by the lining of a nevela. However, it is clear that some of the Geonim ruled that it is prohibited, and that it seems clear also that Harambam seems to side with this ruling as well. Because if he disagreed, he would have brought the contrasting opinion, and however, in this halakha, he does not do that. And he leaves it as the ruling of the Geonim and seems to agree with their ruling as well. Halakha Yod Gimel. האוכל גבינת גויים, או חלב שחלבוהו, ואין ישראל רואהו, מקין אותו מכת מרדות. Anyone who eats the cheeses of goyim, or milk that was milked by a goy, and a Jew did not witness the milking, and it's possible, again, as we mentioned, that the goy may have mixed non-kosher milk with the kosher milk, makין אותו מכת מרדות, he would be liable for lashes for violating a rabbinic prohibition. Regarding butter of goyim, some of the geonim permitted it. v'halev hatemea eno omed, because Chachamim did not extend the gezerah to butter, and the milk of a behemat teme'ah does not harden. And some of the geonim prohibited the butter of goyim because of the leftover drops of milk that are left in the butter. Because the whey in butter is not mixed enough with the butter so that it would be nullified in its insignificance. And any milk of goyim, we suspect that the goy mixed along with it milk of a non-kosher animal. Halacha Yod Dalid. Yera'e li she'im lakach hem'a min hagoyim. Harambam gives a solution to these geonim here that prohibited butter of goyim. So Harambam says it seems to him that if someone bought butter from goyim, and cooked it so that the leftover drops of milk pretty much left and were totally extracted from the butter, the butter would be permitted. Because if you say that non-kosher milk was mixed along with it and you cooked all of it, the mixture would, the non-kosher aspect of it, non-kosher element would be nullified because of its insignificance. But butter that was cooked by goyim is prohibited because of something called gi'ule goyim, as we will see later on in Perek Yod Zayin. Gi'ule goyim is food cooked in pots or vessels that belong to goyim are prohibited because we assume they absorbed some type of isur. Yes. Because they absorb some type of isur, as we will see, yes, in Perek Yod Zayin. Yisrael sheyashav betzad ha'eder. Okay, so just to recap the halacha in regards to butter, some chachamim prohibited the butter of goyim, but some chachamim permitted it. And there was, just to in contrast to cheese, milk and butter were not, there is no gezerah in regards to them. However, with cheese, there was a gezerah by the chachamim. So again, some chachamim prohibited butter, and some chachamim allowed butter, again, of goyim. And Harambam says that if someone bought butter from goyim and cooked it so that the drops of milk were extracted, it would be permissible. Because butter hardens, therefore any aspect of the non-kosher milk would be extracted, and anything that is left inside would be considered mevutal. Halakha tet vav. Yisrael sheyashav betzad ha'eder shel hagoy, a Jew who sat with the herd of a non-Jew. Ve'alach hagoy ve'hevi lo halav min ha'eder, and the goy went and brought him milk from the herd. Af al pi sheyesh ba'eder behema teme'ah harei ze mutar. Even if in the herd the goy has a non-kosher animal, this milk would be permitted. Yes, and this is because there was no gezerah regarding milk. Chachamim, again, only made the gezerah in regards to givinat goyim, but regarding milk, Chachamim never made this gezerah. And this is all even though the Jew did not see the goy milking the animal. והוא שיכול לראות כשהוא חולף כשיעמוד, שהגוי מתיירד לחלוב מן הטמאה, שמא יעמוד ויראה אותו. And this is provided that the Jew can, if the Jew would stand up, he would be able to see the goy milking the animal, because the goy is afraid to milk from a non-kosher animal because the Jew may stand up and see him. Mehila, 1 second. Yes, okay. So just to recap these past few halachot, I think it's extremely important. It's extremely important and relevant halachot, and there are many misconceptions regarding these halachot. So regarding, yes, so milk and cheese of a non-kosher animal are prohibited, and one would, yes, are prohibited. One would not be liable for malkut if he ate them. However, yes, okay. Then regarding um, cheese, yes. Again, regarding cheese, Hachamim made a gezerah regarding gevinat goyim, regarding cheese bought from goyim, and prohibited it because they, the goyim back in the day, would curdle the milk inside the stomach lining of a animal that they slaughtered, which would be considered a nevela, therefore not kosher. And because the not, yes, and yes, but this gezerah only applied to cheese. Additionally, aside from if the reason applies or not, gevina of goyim is prohibited. Again, even though there are many companies today that produce cheese and do not use the stomach lining of nevelot, the cheese of goyim is still prohibited because the rule is batal hatam lo batal, batla hatam lo batla hagezerah. However, in regards to milk, Hachamim did not make such a gezerah regarding milk, and as long as, yes, yes, and if a go, yes, and milk bought from goyim or taken by from goyim, if the Jew can see that the goy is, if the Jew has the ability to see that the goy is milking from the animal, it is permitted for the Jew to take it. Now, because Hachamim did not make this gezerah in regards to milk, it seems that if there is no possibility that the milk of a non-kosher animal would be mixed with the milk of a kosher animal, and there would be serious ramifications for anyone who would do so. For example, in the United States, that if milk, uh, yes, if there is milk that was milked by, yes, if a company that produces milk mixes milk of a cow with milk, for example, of a pig, there would be serious legal ramifications, um, and it's not something that happens at all. Milk bought from these corporations and these companies, again, because there is no possibility of not kosher milk being mixed with it, it is permitted to buy milk from uh, from these types, from goyim, in a sense. Hila. Yes. Okay. Yes. And if anyone again has any clarifications or any comments, I'd love to hear them. Okay, continuing with the halachot. Halachat tet zayin. Bitza sheshene rasheha kadin, an egg that is round at both ends. Or sheshene rasheha hadin, or if they were sharp at both ends. Or shayah hilmon mi bachutz v'hilbon mi bifnim, or if the white was inside the yolk. Biyadua shehi bitzat of tameh. It is certainly an egg of a non-kosher animal, of any of these types of eggs. Roshah Ehad kad v'roshah ehad had. If there was one side of the egg that was round and one side of the egg that was sharp. V'chilbon mi bachutz v'chilbon mi bifnim, and the white was on the outside and the yolk was on the inside. Efshar shei betzat of tameh ve'efshar shei betzat of tahor. It is possible that it is from the egg of a non-kosher animal, but also it is possible that it is the egg of a kosher animal. Lefikach sho'el hasayyad ha'yisraeli shemuchra. Therefore, he can ask the hunter Jewish guy who is selling the eggs to you. If he tells you that it is from this specific type of bird and that bird is a kosher bird, one may rely on him, because by naming the bird that it's from, we can pretty much ascertain that he is an expert regarding the birds, and he is believed to testify on the on if this egg is kasher or not. But if he simply said that it is from a kosher bird but did not specify its name, one may not rely on him. Therefore, one may not buy eggs from a non-Jew. He may only buy eggs from goyim unless the buyer knows and can recognize these eggs and can recognize which type of bird they're from. We don't suspect that these eggs are the eggs of a terefa. And obviously the eggs of a terefa, as you mentioned, would be prohibited. And the rule is that because most animals are not regarded as terefot, it would be permissible. The rov behemot kesherot hen is the rule the Talmud lays out, and as a result, one does not need to assume that the eggs that he takes are the eggs of a terefa. And one may not purchase from the goyim a betza terufa. A betza terufa is an egg that was mixed. So the yolk and the white was mixed, and it's not possible for one to recognize what type of egg, what type of bird this egg is from. הלכה י"ט וכן אין לוקחים גבינה וחתיכת דג שאין בהן סימן אלא מישראלי שיוחזק בכשרות. There also one may not purchase cheese or the piece or a fillet of fish that does not have a siman, that does not have a sign, unless it was from a Jew who was Huzak bekashrut. Yes, that was assumed to be a who is trustworthy in regards to these laws. Yes, when we say Hufsak kashrut, we mean that he is mehila. I skipped a halacha. Mehila, okay. Mehila halacha yod het. Betze Dagim simanehen ki simane betze ha'of. Regarding fish eggs, their signs are like the signs of the eggs of a chicken. Im hayu shene rashei kadin or hadin. To mean if both sides of the egg were round or sharp, they are not kosher. Ehad kad ve'ehad had. Sho'eli Yisraeli hamocher. If one side was sharp and one side was round, he should ask the Jewish seller. If he says that if he says that he himself salted them, meaning salted the fish after taking them out of the fish, out of a kosher fish, yes, ochel al piv, the Jew may eat it based on what he says. Ve'im amar lo tehorin hen eno ne'eman. But if he simply says that they are pure, he is not that they are kosher. He is not eno ne'eman. He is not believed. Ela im ken haya adam she'ochzak bechashrut, unless he was an individual assumed to be trustworthy in matters of kashrut. Halacha Yod Tet. וכן אין לוקחים גבינה וחתיכת דג שאין בהן סימן אלא מישראלי שיוחזק בכשרות. Also, we don't purchase cheese or a fillet of fish that does not have a sign unless it was bought from a Jew who, again, is יוחזק בכשרות, who is assumed to be trustworthy in matters of kashrut. אבל בארץ ישראל, כשהייתה רובה לישראל, לוקחים מכל ישראלי שבא, but in the land of Israel, when the majority of Jews, of the population are Jews, one may simply buy the egg or the givina. Sorry, no, one may buy the givina or the fillet of fish from any Jew that passes by. Also, milk may be purchased from any Jew in any place. Someone who pickles fish that are not kosher, the liquid that comes out is prohibited. However, the liquid that comes out of not kosher locusts is permissible because they don't really have a liquid in their bodies. Therefore, any liquid of animals from goyim, unless it was from a kosher fish that is floating inside the tzir, even if it was only one fish. If a goy brought a crate that was filled with open barrels of tzir, and there was one kosher fish in one of the barrels, all of the barrels are permissible. If they were closed and he opened one of them and he found a kosher fish, then he opened another one and found another kosher fish, all of them are permitted. And this is provided the head and spine of the fish are intact in order for him to recognize that it is a kosher fish. And this is an example of us rendering a decision about halal with using the rule that hazakah is determined by two reoccurring situations. However, in some cases, the halacha is that we need three reoccurring situations for us to surmise a hazakah. It's a machloket in the Gemara. In some places we say that hazakah requires two, and in some places we require the hazakah requires three. Final halacha. Therefore, we don't take fish that are salted and minced from the goyim. These are called tarit terufa. If, however, the head and spine of the fish were recognizable, even though it is minced, it is permissible to buy it from the goyim. Goy shevi garav shelachati chodag shehituchan shaveh, a goy that brought a keg of pieces of fish that were cut equally. והן ניכרים שכולן מין אחד, ונמצא בחתיכה אחת מהן כסיים, הרי כולן מותרות. And it is recognizable that all of these fish are from one type of species of fish, and we find in one of the pieces that it had scale, that it had kaskasin. Kaskasin are scales. If he found scales on even one piece of this large quantity of fish, all of them are permitted, because, as we mentioned, and this is assuming that the scale is on the fish, because we said that any fish that has scales also definitely has fins, as we mentioned in Perek Aleph, I believe Halacha Kaf Daled. And with that, we finish Perek Gimel. This chapter was a very technical chapter. I hope everything was clear. And if anyone has any clarifications or any comments, please feel free to comment either on the YouTube page or to remark in the WhatsApp group. Tomorrow we'll study Perek Revi'i. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.